What is baboonering, bakers? Welcome back to episode 19 of the Secret Streamer, Secret Bakery, Secret podcast.
Secret.
Secrets.
How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing okay. I got home from work recently. It was a bit longer, but it wasn't as long as the worst days have been.
That's good. How about you, Jackson?
I'm doing fine. Have done math today. I'm now done with math for, let's see, 2
Hopefully
weeks.
forever. Oh.
Somebody does not know about physics.
All right. Well, I'm doing pretty dandy. You guys have a favorite chip?
Chip?
Yeah, favorite chip. If you guys eat chips.
What do I? I don't really eat chips that much. I'm like anything with cheese, basically. Sun chips or like oven baked Cheetos are the two I think of.
I don't really eat chips that often. But whenever I do, I normally just have like what's in the pantry. So it's like your basic like Doritos, Cheetos, that type of thing.
Liam, you're a math
Gotcha.
expert, right?
Yeah, I am.
Do you know what multiplying 1 by 1 a lot does?
It makes one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you ask?
Oh, that was like a key component of one of my math tests, and I kept messing it up. And I was just because you're the math expert.
Right, I am the math expert. Yeah. On the topic of chips, my favorite chips would be popcorners. They're like popcorns, but in the shape of a triangle, like a Dorito.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say this is I was at the supermarket, right? And I'm an original Nancy, all right? I like the plain, pure popcorn, not a single other ingredient, just popcorn and only popcorn. That's what I like. But I walk through the doors of the supermarket. I walk down to the chips aisle. I look to where my bread and butter, my popcorners original usually are, and to my disdain, they're out of the flavor. Too many other people share my good taste. For two other flavors, all right? I settled on kettle corn and let's see, what was it? Sour cream and onion. Now, I don't really like sour things or onion things, but I do remember in the depths of my memory eating one singular chip that was flavored sour cream and onion. I liked it, so I tried it out. And in my hand, I thought that I would take it in for a live testing. In my hand, I have a singular triangle of sour cream and onion popcorners, and I'm eating it right now. Oh.
Guys, I don't think he likes it.
I don't think so either.
Oh,
Are you okay?
so gross. Oh. Who did that? Ew.
I was not expecting.
Oh. Oh my god, I was not expecting it to be that bad.
Really?
Oh my god.
Oh. That shouldn't be allowed. Okay. Well, at least I tried something new.
Yeah. You want to do something really fun and cool?
Just
Put your hand in front of your mouth and breathe out. Now your breath smells phenomenal.
Well, I can't smell my breath. That's not how it works.
That's just... Is your nose stuffed?
Nuh-uh. Anyways, on the topic of retail, let's talk about retail workers. I am so glad I have the perspective of a retail worker. For a couple months, I worked in a supermarket, and I have a newfound.
What's the address of that supermarket?
Yeah. Here, I'll give you the address and put it on screen.
Yeah.
He
Why
doesn't
are
know
you
it's
putting
actually
my
Jacob's address.
Exactly. You're putting my address on screen. What are you talking
Yeah, I was about to
about?
say that's just Jacob's address. We all have it memorized by now.
Based. Anyways, retail workers. More like, I'm sure you've all seen the stuff where people will just like give retail workers shit. That's more what I'm talking about. Like, the people in there do not have 100% control of the store and what goes on. Like, they are working there for minimum wage, probably part-time, you know? Because like I'm sure you've seen all those people where people will just like start yelling at a retail worker for like the stupidest stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I was there, a lady started like my story. Me, the paragon is what I'm using the story as, a paragon of virtue. I saw something, they didn't have it. What do? Accept it and move on. All right. But when I was working there at the same supermarket, someone else was like, "Where's the popcorn chip?" And was like, "I guess we don't have them." And this lady, no. We don't have it is not an answer that they could accept. They could not just simply move on. This was an injustice that they had to take to its root. And by take to its root, I like there was nothing we could do. We physically did not have the chips there. They just weren't in the store. We needed more. But like it just doesn't click with the person. They keep going on and going on, you know? And there's so much stuff like that that people have to deal with. So many like people that they feel like are just like entitled to whatever they were trying to buy or entitled to good customer service. It feels like they stop seeing people who work in retail as like a regular person that is an equal to them, and they just start to see them as something else. Now, obviously, this is not everyone or even most people. Obviously, most people do not act like this, but there is this. I did see a surprising number of people who did treat retail workers like that, and I was really surprised. I have a hard time understanding why they suddenly see these people as just not really people, but just cogs in the supermarket to get annoyed at when everything isn't working exactly how they want it to be. I am so glad. I don't know if I would have had that perspective, but I'm glad I did work in retail to solidify me not having that perspective, because it's such an angry, stupid, close-minded way of thinking about the people around you. That makes sense.
No, yeah, I get it.
No, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's just it's just a big issue with. I think some people are just assholes that don't think about other people, and that's how they end up like that. They don't think, oh, this person. There are just some people with really weird perspectives that think, oh, this person is uh actively trying to be malicious and do these things to me. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
that's not the case. Or they just don't give a shit about your feelings. There are just some people that are bad people.
I guess so. I just every now and then I see a video blow up, and once again, obviously, this is probably a rare occurrence. But I see a video blow up, and it's looks like it was this one lady screaming at another lady behind the counter for like not. It was something stupid. It was like for how what they call their cup sizes instead of just calling it small, medium,
Was
and
it at
large. And she
Starbucks?
was, yeah,
I've seen that one.
and she was just screaming at them. Like, it is. Not only is that a horrible way to treat someone, but that problem should be so far beneath any person. Like, what is the point of wasting so much of your time and energy on something like that? Like, obviously, there are problems in the world that you should spend a lot of energy dealing with, but like, if what is the point of getting so worked up about every tiny thing in your life?
Mm-hmm.
I I just I just don't understand. Like that it's got to be a miserable way to live, not being able to deal with like just tiny inconveniences and move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And
Yeah.
like, oh, there was this other instance. I shouldn't even get into it. I'm getting into it. All right. So when I was working at the supermarket, legally I was a child, an older child, but a child nonetheless. All right? And you know what knowledge a child has about adult things cuz you yourselves also used to be children, right? I assume so. I assume so.
Yeah.
I assume the experience has not been completely lost on you. So I'm going around minding my business, and a lady walks up to me, not maliciously yet, and she asks, "Hey, do you know where the club soda is?" Now, for those of you who don't know, club soda is a sort of like water drink thing that people will pour in with alcohol, usually at parties. That is what club soda is. However, being a child who did not go to any crazy parties with alcohol, I did not know what club soda was. I just assumed it was a type of soda. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I say, well, that's probably in the soda aisle over there. But then she did the thing where she like kind of stood there and was like, oh, okay, I have to walk there with you. So I walk over to the soda aisle and she looks at me. So I'm the one who's having to look up and down every part of the aisle for this club soda. Is like, I don't see it. I guess we don't have it. And she's like, no. And then she pulls out the bane of my existence, the supermarket app. This supermarket has an app that keeps stock of like all of the stuff. And it's so annoying because it just takes at the beginning of the day and it doesn't update immediately because that'd be a hard thing to implement. But people will point to the app and be like, and I'd have to say, well, we don't have it anymore. We might have had it at the beginning of the day, but it doesn't update when we run out. Just like, she's like, it says on the app that you have it. So like, okay, well maybe it's in the water aisle because some fizzy drinks are in the water aisle. So I walk over to the water aisle, I look up and down everything. I'm like, well, I guess we don't have it. And she's like, no, it says you have it. And I'm like, well, it's a soda. And she's like, no, 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 no. Do you not know what club soda is? And I'm like, is it a brand of soda? And she's like, no. But then she doesn't elaborate. So then I go over to my code worker, who is also my age, is like, hey, do you know what club soda is? And he's like, no. And she gets really frustrated. And then she finally says it goes with alcohol. So I'd be like, oh, I guess it would be in the alcohol aisle. So I walk over there, and then that's where the club soda is. And that would be the end. But it isn't. Because she goes, walks up to it, picks it up, looks directly at me, shakes in front of me, and goes, "This is club soda." And then she walks off in like a huff. And I'm like, man, why would I know what club soda is? Anyways, that's my story.
I see.
I obviously didn't even. I'm comedying it up a bit. Well, no, that's pretty much exactly what happened. But like, I obviously did not have like a super horrible experience.
Yeah.
I'm
Just.
actually more glad it happened to me because now I have a funny story to talk about. But
Mhm.
like, it's absurd. It feels like just a switch flips in some of these people, where if you're a retail worker, you just don't count as much as like a person in their eyes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you guys?
What do you mean? What about us?
How's it going?
That's good. Didn't you already ask that?
Well, I thought that was a good place to end that topic.
I disagree. I felt like there's like
Yeah,
an
there's a bit more to say. I mean,
openness.
Like what?
Well, I mean, it's better than just going back to the very first thing that you asked. That's kind of like redundant, but I mean, yeah, you talked about your experience. Let me think. There are actually, you said that's like probably a not very common thing. It happens so often. People deal with it on a daily basis. Like, the
Maybe it's just like people go in with like the expectation of like getting this thing out of the store because that's what the store is supposed to do, forgetting that like people work there and there's always the chance for human error and like things don't go your way. And then like when the thing doesn't happen, like when something is out of order, like they just blame the people right in front of them. That's another thing. Like if there's ever a bad decision or something people don't agree with these like big companies, the people that are in front of them are never the people who can actually do anything about it. They're just the storefronts, but those are always the people who get yelled at. It would be awesome if like for a day or something that like the CEO of different companies had to go in and work retail and then they could get yelled at for all the hatred and stuff.
I would love to yell at Jeff Bezos.
Oh, yeah.
But I think part of it's also there are some people that are just they aren't raised properly and they don't understand that like there is a whole group of like teenagers right now that are like being exposed to like TikTok culture and like YouTube prank culture and sorry. And
What are you laughing about?
nothing, Jacob. I'm thinking of a video I just watched from Jarvis Johnson. He was talking about how there are like TikTok pranksters that just go and um like what their whole pranks are. They go into stores and they just cause a fucking ruckus. They give
Mm-hmm.
the employees the most terrible time and they have to just suck it up and they have like millions of fans that are all children and they see that behavior and they go, "Oh, it's funny. It's cool to do that. I'm going to go
Yeah.
do that." And then they don't learn that, "Oh, that's not a socially acceptable thing to do. You're being an asshole."
Yeah.
That's it's somewhat it's maybe not like the same thing because I think that will be a problem later. But for the most part, I think what you were talking about generally deals with older people, like
Yeah,
adults.
I've seen a couple of middle-aged people do it too. Like pop the club soda lady was
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
younger
That no,
side.
that's what I mean. What like I'm talking about like 40s to maybe yeah 40s and up, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it it's annoying. People need to just like have respect for their fellow people,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not only
except for certain people who should not be named that I have no respect for. But that they don't count. They're an outlier.
That's not terrifying. I could be anybody.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to go to that topic where you asked how we're doing again?
What
I
do you
was
guys
trying to
think of
think.
Cars?
I
The movie, phenomenal movie. Tow Mater's an S tier character. Lightning McQueen's mid.
I found he was kind of annoying in the second one though. Like the whole spy one.
I
I
Although
think
I
you
also
just don't
think Lightning
appreciate true
McQueen was
art.
kind of a jerk in the second one though. Like I thought he was a
He's an
little bit
asshole.
annoying, but like Mater was a little bit annoying, but like overall Mater did so much for McQueen, and then McQueen just like threw him away the second he got like the whole lesson he learned in the first one. Kind of felt like he was just throwing it away in the second one.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Lightning McQueen's an asshole. Tow Mater is an S tier character. And for some reason, people want to fuck Lightning McQueen's interest.
Wait, what?
You know the blue car, the light blue car.
Someone wants to fuck a car?
listen, have you opened Twitter.com? I once opened Twitter.com. I scrolled down. It was just a picture of her, and it said "would." 10K likes.
The world is a dangerous place.
That's one way of saying it, yeah. So, were you talking about the movies?
No, I mean like the actual thing.
Oh, I don't give a shit about cars.
Yeah, I'm not a car person.
They take up too much. Imagine, if you will, we get rid of all cars, like just like that. Bam. We've invented teleportation. Not the one where it like kills you and then puts all your particles back together, but like good teleportation. And we have gotten past all the car companies lobbying against it. We've destroyed them. We've blown up every car, and now we can rip up every lane and replace it all with sidewalks and just more buildings and make everything walkable and cyclable. That's utopia right there.
Why
Like
would we make it walk?
like where I live in, you can't really you could walk to a couple places, but like it's like the type of stuff where like walking is an option, but it's clearly not made for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a car hater. I just hate them, and I hate they're just loud, they pollute, and they take up so much space with their stupid roads. Hate their roads. Like
Mhm.
it's so much space that could just be used for just cool stuff. Like imagine if the nearest highway, you know which one I'm talking about, we destroyed that and replaced it with just a really long zip line.
That I mean, I'm gonna let you think on that one because we could just do that anyways. Also, that's not. I'm not gonna talk about the viability of that statement.
We're not going to talk logistics after the first episode.
God, I hate logistics. Logistics are banned here. Yeah, no, cars are kind of mid.
Yeah, cars are okay. I like driving them. That's about it. Speaking of cars, what are your opinions of bicyclists on the main roads?
I think they should take over.
I think
I
they
think
should
they
go to the
should
middle
carry.
lane and get hit.
I just think they should carry like screwdrivers and pop cars' tires as they ride.
I think they need to get like a few more brain cells and get on the sidewalk so they don't get hit. Like, they just I don't understand how bikers think, man. Like they get on the road and then they just start ignoring all the traffic laws.
Because for reference, where we are, we do not have bike lanes.
Yeah.
I have lived
Yeah.
in a city with bike lanes, and it's much better there. My opinion's different there. Here, no, you don't drive down, you don't bike on the fucking main roads. There are people that can barely bike on like the proper on like neighborhood roads properly. The other day, I almost hit somebody because they were biking and like they had looked at me and clearly saw me, and then they just moved in between the lanes. There, it was two lanes. They were on the line.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't know if they were just being an asshole or they were just clueless.
Recently, not like too recently, but like a month ago, I was driving home and there are two bikers. So there's the turn in, it's my neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like you have like the lane, and then like I basically had to squeeze in because two bikers were standing still in the middle of the road, chatting it up.
Yeah, that's where you click that button
Based.
on your horn, on your wheel, and you just.
And I had to squeeze on by because it's like, um, like it's like even worse because like if you take a right turn from that road, there's like little chance that you'll actually see them.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah, no, bicyclists in suburban areas kind of mid, especially when they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they should do it anyways, though.
I disagree.
I heavily
It's
disagree.
you know how dangerous driving cars is? Now imagine
Very
doing
dangerous.
that, but you don't have the protection of a giant metallic machine around you. And you're going way slower, so you are the only one that will get hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, like there is like no protection at all
Mm-hmm.
when you're biking.
Yeah, because like cars are specifically made to reduce the impact of a crash. I think it's reduced impulse. I think it's reduced impulse. I need to look at this.
Yeah, help you not, like get hurt as much when crashing because there's like an airbag inside. But if you're on a bike and you lose your grip on your handlebars, you might just go flying.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people should start having armored bikes.
Yeah, that wouldn't do anything. We know this. Because it's
Yeah,
Okay, but
it's
because motorcycles exist.
yeah, and
Those are
it's
just
not
armored
just the
bikes.
armor. It's
right, you just use motorcycles.
no. I hate motorcyclists so much. Oh my
Why?
god, because they always fucking weave through lanes like jackasses. Like every time I've driven on the highway, they just go through a bunch of cars. Like Liam, you know the spot. Let's say you are driving and there's a car to your right, and that right directly in another lane. I had a motorcyclist go between us.
Oh, okay.
They do that shit, and I'm like, what the hell, dog? You could just die. That's a blind spot.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's no protection. If you get hit in a motorcycle accident, you're really likely to die.
That is rather bad. Yeah, I agree.
And then whoever hit you, it takes a hit to their insurance. They need to get their car repaired. Then they have the trauma of, oh, I hit somebody who was fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like them.
What?
Nothing. I'm laughing at something I saw off screen.
You good, Jackson? You're not really
What?
focusing on the conversation for this episode. Are you just browsing Twitter?
No, one, it's X. Two, I am focusing on the conversation. I've been rather active in the discussion, Jacob. Do you have any topics for today?
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah,
Yeah.
got him. Checkmate. Cleric to fuck. No, it's knight to cleric 4. That's the line.
Knight to
Yeah.
or
Yeah. So I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. It's kind of a phenomenal game. That's one of Gale's voice lines. It's really good. That game, I'm gonna be real, it's probably like top 4 to 3 games so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
That's
a pretty
pretty good.
game.
Apparently there's like outrage, like, so a bunch of like, Liam, you're gonna love this actually.
Oh.
So a bunch of workers at Bungie and
Arr!
such, they're all like, Baldur's Gate 3 is a completely unrealistic game and you shouldn't expect anything like that from us.
Oh, is that the thing about like the game devs that were saying like, no, this shouldn't raise the standards?
Yes,
It's too
exactly.
unrealistic.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it would be Bungie.
Yeah, I saw stuff about that earlier today.
Yeah, and I was reading about that, and I'm like, that's so true, honestly, because there have been no like major AAA games except for like Nintendo games, and even then, it's like that I've been excited for. I'm like, I was kind of excited for Baldur's Gate 3, but I didn't realize that I've been so tired of how bad games have been recently or how boring and uncreative they've been. I was like, oh, I'm not going to try it out in anything, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad I tried it out because it's phenomenal. Like, it's easily the most well-made game I've ever played.
I don't know. I've been plagued by.
I don't know what's wrong with your game, Jacob.
I don't know what's wrong with my game either. Like as soon as like I don't know what I like. Like I know I didn't like take like all the like necessary steps they put in to minimize like fucky wuckiness, but like my game was already like uninstalled beforehand, so like I didn't have to deal with like reinstalling it or like going from like early access or whatnot.
Yeah.
But like a few like intro cutscenes have been pretty wonky, and that's all I'll say. It's not enough to like be like this game stinks, but just like weird. Like
Yeah.
why is my copy doing this specifically?
Yeah, I don't know. I have the only like bug I've seen is there is a scene where there's a bunch of people drinking, and if you talk to one person, it focuses on them, and people next to them disappear, so you just see like a floating mug being drunken, and that's funny, so it's fine. But
I
like
mean,
that's the only
my
issue.
my guy was
Yeah,
a posing at a 45-degree angle out coming out of the nautiloid pod.
yeah, that's funny. And that happened 2 times in a row.
Two different runs in a row. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I have a bad shtick whenever it comes to RPGs of just like replaying like intro segments over and over again,
Mhm.
trying out different builds. This time I'm not doing that though.
Good,
I'm not doing that this time. I'm
especially
gonna
because
actually.
you can respec for the most part.
Yeah. Okay, my first playthrough, I broke an oath immediately, so that's
Yeah, you know
part of
that's
why.
fair. That was 100% fair. How'd you break your oath?
Oh, you know the part where it's like, oh, we two tieflings, there's the gif in there, and she's like,
Yeah.
kill them. I killed them.
Okay, yeah, I did the exact opposite. And I didn't
I
break my
also I
oath.
also failed the charisma check, but I was like, this will. I mean, I was going for an evil run, so I was like, this will break my mouth anyways.
Uh-huh.
This is speed running.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You broke your oath within the first 3 hours. That's kind of impressive.
Either that, or you can play Dark Urge and just do it immediately.
That's true. Dude, Paladin Dark Urge, that's some hard shit. That's really hard to like keep just
Mm-hmm.
straight. That's a fun character to consider playing.
Another run that I'll eventually do is to get the Jack of all trades achievement.
What's that one? Oh, the
Like a
multi-class
level
in one in all classes
without respecing.
without respecking.
Yes.
That's crazy. What do you do? Do you just have to like set your base stats like 13, 13, 13?
So I think you can take any level in any class without the requirements because
Okay.
so like currently my current run is a rogue barbarian
Mm-hmm.
and my strength is 8.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I call that broke, by the way.
Rogue.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier because I've been considering playing that, but I don't want to.
It's been fun. And since we're not level 3 yet, I don't have to worry about doing less DPS.
Mm-hmm.
I do more than the actual rogue in the party right now.
True.
Because the rage damage bonus doesn't specify strength weapons.
Oh, he doesn't? That's just good. I love a lot of the class stuff they've done because it makes the game so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Liam, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You are?
Yeah. Why
Have
do you
you got-
ask?
I'm
Have you
just
gotten
good.
Have you gotten Baldur's Gate yet?
I have not. I've been considering it. I'm already playing a time-consuming game. I'm about to go back to college, so like,
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
Final Fantasy will always be there.
No, I have to defeat the ultimates now.
Well, you're not doing that because me and Simon aren't doing that. and neither is Jacob.
Well, I'll convince you to
Yeah.
No,
do
you will
it.
not.
What do you mean? What
Baldur's Gate is better. I'm not playing Final Fantasy till have had my time with Baldur's Gate.
Oh man. You guys play this game, you're like, all right, come up here to the end game, and then we'll do awesome stuff. And they get there, and you're like,
Well, because we're
playing
still
Baldur's
in the
Gate.
end game, and we're gonna be in the end game for over a year. About a year, sorry.
Yeah, we'll end with the end game once the new DLC comes out,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll be in a new end game.
Yeah. Like, remember, we're gonna have a much larger downtime. So even if we don't beat every ultimate, like, now, we have a long time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. Okay.
Okay. Liam, have you ever looked into philosophy?
A little bit.
I think you would enjoy that. You should do that.
Why do you say that?
Well, you know, like, every time you ask a question on, like, this podcast, and it's, like, a long discussion when you're like, it's introspective. That's all philosophy. And all your moral and ethical questions, that's all philosophy. Yeah, I think you would enjoy looking into that and seeing, like, oh, this person over 2,000 years ago said this, and I so agree with that, and it makes sense from this perspective, or they have, like, an interesting thought experiment.
Maybe I will look into it.
That's cool.
Are you a philosophy type of guy?
No, I hate philosophy.
I think you're lying.
I don't. I'm not lying. I am not lying. I don't like philosophy.
Okay. Okay.
Any particular
well-
reason why?
Philosophy is just kind of like thinking about things.
Yeah, but, like,
What specifically don't you like about it?
I don't like discussing philosophy and the discussions that come around it. And I think if you're not discussing those ideas, then they're not that important. I don't like the more scholarly aspects of it. Like the thought
I don't
experiments, I fucking hate thought experiments.
Oh, I kind of like them.
Yeah, and I hate them.
I
'cause
don't.
it's
I don't
splitting
agree
hairs
with
and
if you're not
semantics.
discussing this, you're not important though.
No, it's not important.
Okay.
Oh, because philosophical ideas are meant to be discussed. You discuss them, you trade ideas with peers, and after that, you reevaluate your own beliefs and ideas on that topic and take what you think needs to be taken from that other side, or just gain more perspective on it. But a lot of the times, it's not productive conversation, and it's not very.
Yeah, like with how most conversations go, it's a big argument.
Well, it's
So-
just splitting hairs and semantics, because there's no, like, what's the word? It's also ephemeral, and it's, like, subjective.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I don't like thought experiments because it's like semantics and splitting hairs the whole time. But
Mhm.
philosophical ideas are meant to be discussed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob,
Yeah.
would you make a good Fortnite skin?
Personally, I have low self-esteem in the way that I look, but with my current, if I have my current drip on, maybe.
I was thinking, so, like, your drip from, like, Liam's movie. I think that would make a good Fortnite skin. Like, imagine you, like, in a cell shaded cartoon art style.
Okay, that one might go hard.
Because I was thinking about this earlier. because somebody said Fortnite, and then I opened my phone, and I saw Sam Riegel's face, and I'm like, that man would be a phenomenal Fortnite skin.
Just wait till they add Critical Role characters into Fortnite.
Honestly,
Untapped market.
they have to add One Piece to like
I'll
Fortnite
pop
sometime.
off.
Bless you.
Thank you. I'd pop off so hard.
It's gonna spoil so much, I bet.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure. Like with like the Goku skins.
The
they
thing about
changed.
Dragon Ball, it doesn't matter because
Well, okay,
Dragon Ball
well,
doesn't actually have a story.
I wasn't like I know Dragon Ball doesn't matter, but like I wasn't talking about like Dragon Ball specifically. I was just talking about how, like how it has that emote that changes like the Super Saiyan form.
Yeah.
And I was it would probably might do that for Luffy.
No, I think the way they're gonna do it, they're gonna have a separate skin for that.
Maybe.
It's just I feel like that's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking I've just now like I heard somebody talk about this and I'm like, it really is the best time to get into One Piece because once they discover the One Piece, everybody's gonna know, and that whole aspect of the show is just gonna get like lost when you read it
Yeah.
or watch
Oh
it.
yeah, it's gonna be spoiled so hard what the One Piece is.
Yeah. Because like
I really gotta catch up. I've already been spoiled a bit on like the newest stuff.
every single
which I'm-
person like on the internet has been spoiled about that.
Yeah.
So that alone shows that like once the One Piece is discovered, everybody's gonna know about it, and there's gonna be a huge discourse, and you will not be able to hide. So like now, because we're entering the final saga, it is the best time to get into One Piece.
I'm only I think I'm like 271 episodes away from
271
catching up.
episodes. Okay. Are
I'm
you
on
still
Whole Cake.
watching?
I am still watching.
I've stopped watching a bit and I've switched to reading for Dressrosa.
Yeah, I'm gonna like. I don't like One Piece's pacing in the anime, or I don't like the anime.
The pacing is one of the few things I don't like about it. The show's good, but it would be so good if the pacing didn't suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't help that it got worse after the time skip.
Yeah, but like, how many episodes is Wano?
Like 100 and something. I'm tempted to watch Wano.
You're
No,
not
it's
gonna
at
want to watch all of
200.
it. Yeah,
It's at 200.
Wano's been going on for 3 years.
But the animation's so good though. They made it good.
It's like better than other One Piece I've seen. I'm gonna be real, it doesn't hit anywhere near like top tier. Like Demon Slayer easily kicks that out of the park. Yes, even the most recent episode.
I see.
That's my opinion. I'm no expert.
Mhm.
Well, as a philosopher, you're wrong. Let's discuss.
Fuck no. Fuck,
Let's
fuck.
do a little thought experiment. Let's say you're being cringe right now.
Okay, I'm Liam.
What the hell? Guys,
Am I being cringe? I'm saying as Liam.
what do you define as humanity? Or just human in general? Like, what do you define as human? Not the species, but
Jacob, go first.
What do I define as humanity?
yeah.
Damn, that's a good question. I'm trying to think about it because I'd have like an actual like thoughtful, provoking answer, but I can't. I'm trying to think of it right now.
Yeah, take your time. Liam, what's your thought process?
See, I'm not too sure what I would define as humanity. Because there's so many people that are so wildly different. This isn't really a rhetorical question. I'm more asking because I really don't know. And another thing, I was like, let's see. I don't have a fully fleshed out answer, but it's something along the lines of like the way we act, the way we like our emotions and stuff. So I was wondering, is it possible you could define like a robot as human once it reaches a certain level of intelligence and emotion? And likewise, is it possible to define or under people's definitions, I think certain people wouldn't be defined as human. Like they're so terrible. They're just barely they're not even human at all.
Mm-hmm.
I
Do you
mean,
think robots could be defined as human?
I don't know. I don't know what robots are capable of in the end. Currently, 100% no. I'd have to wait and see what happens there.
Hmm.
Yeah, we have to wait and see how technology evolves.
Are there people you would describe as not human?
Under my definition, no. There are people that I would describe as monsters, but people can be monsters and still be human.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, what is either of your definitions of being human?
You haven't given yours.
Yeah, because I said Jacob goes first.
God damn it.
Nose guess.
Ah, I don't have a nose, so I don't goes.
Uh, sorry, just
No,
trying to think of it.
you're fine. I'm just partially being an asshole here. I think that you should take your time composing your response. And I mean, I never heard Liam's answer. Did you have an answer prepared, Liam? I'm just curious.
No,
Okay. Was this like on the spot or was this one of your prepared
no.
topics?
This is prepared. I
Okay,
wasn't able
okay.
to come up with an answer this whole time. I'm not sure. It's hard because I don't. It'd have to envelop so much, both the good and bad of people. What makes a human a human? Is it there's so many qualities of a person.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose my definition of humanity would be less what a human is and more what humans value as
Mm-hmm.
humanity, you know? Less of a
Yeah.
definition of our species and more of what we aspire to be, what we value as a people overall.
Yeah,
So
that
I
makes
don't know because there's a pretty big divide. Like I'd say like kindness, but would most people value kindness? So I suppose if that's my definition of humanity is what people value, then my definition of humanity would just be what I value
Mm-hmm.
in people, which I suppose would be kindness, open-mindedness, determination. What else? I mean, those are some big ones. What else
Mhm.
do I value in people? Mostly just that friendliness, kindness, open mindedness, enthusiasm. I think those are my big ones. So what do you value in people? How about that?
Okay, so it's a different question. Okay, then I have to change.
Well, I mean, I got that from the original question.
I think those are two different questions, in my opinion.
They are kind of different questions. Like, one is your definition of humanity? Is one is what do you like to see in other people?
Yeah.
I suppose, but no one was able to answer the first one.
No, I have an
Well-
answer. It's just
Okay, what's your answer?
You're waiting for me to answer first.
I want Jacob to answer because no offense, Jacob, but I feel like I don't get to hear your thoughts on a lot of this as often. I feel like it's me and Liam talking about it, and you're just like, yeah. Which it's not against, not like, oh, you have no ideas. It's like I feel like we take up too much of the time.
Yeah. I'd say probably like
Mhm.
I try to be positive, so probably like my definition of humanity would be like empathizing and like understanding the qualms and plights of other people and just trying to like having the will to like do your best to help out no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like a sense of unification, that type of thing.
Okay.
All right, all right.
All right. So like communication, empathy, kind of like those more abstract, higher level like thoughts and
Yeah.
feelings.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mine somewhat includes parts of that, but I think the real thing I consider to be human is the ability to make your own choice and understand the consequences and ramifications and how how it affects the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ability, it's free will. It's the
Yeah, free will.
ability to have your own agency and affect the world in great ways through that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, free will, of course. Yeah, that should be a given. Gimme.
Gotcha. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. So does you're still lines along like what you value?
Yeah. I mean, humanity, from what I've gathered, is just what people value in humans, which you could try to just like get a vague understanding of what people generally value, or you can just or it can become a personal question of what do you think humanity is to you, which is more just what do you value in people and in humans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it.
Okay. So I mean, what if somebody's lacking those elements or doesn't like showcase them greatly?
Hard to say. I move the question to humanity. I wouldn't say they're not human, but I would say they lack humanity. My version of lacking humanity is lacking, I guess, empathy for your fellow humans.
Okay, so you would boil it down to empathy.
That's the best way to describe what I'm thinking about it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah. I mean, so with your definition, that would exclude some groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely people out there who I would say lack humanity. I don't know if I could call them not human. I think it's more accepting humans for what they are, both the good and the bad, and striving to be on the good part of that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I think everyone here has humanity.
No, Freudian slip. I would hope so because.
Except Simon.
Uh-huh.
No, that's a joke. I was joking.
I'd hope so, yeah. I mean, based on your disc Actually, I'm kind of so you put it down to empathy, but then you also added it with like the good and the bad. I mean,
Well, I think my definition of human and my definition of humanity are two different things.
okay, okay,
My definition of humanity would boil down to empathy, but my definition of human would encompass every single thing a person can be, regardless of good and bad, and trying to accept all of that.
mm-hmm.
We're all humans and we should strive to have humanity. How about that?
Yeah.
It's two. um, okay. Let me see. Looking at my list of topics.
We
Liam,
haven't gotten to your topic yet.
Liam, you're a sleephead. My what? I'm like,
Your topic, what you're talking about right now, right?
yeah. Liam, you're a sleephead. You'd say you're normally good at sleeping.
I've been actually on a pretty good streak so far.
I mean, compared to like the rest of the people that we know.
Compared to some people, yeah. Though it's a pretty, I wouldn't say it's a fair. Well, yeah. I'll just leave it at that.
I feel
What
like
about
it's
it?
very different. Well, yeah, you're like a big sleephead. Jacob, you're not a sleephead. You have trouble sleeping for the most part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I am in the
Right.
same boat.
Right now, definitely.
Yeah. And I'm 100% not a sleephead. And I have this thing where about every week or so, I have a day where I do not sleep.
Really.
Damn,
Yep.
that's not good.
Yeah.
I
And I would love to have the ability to sleep, but honestly, it's just been such a problem and it's so constant. I do not give a shit. I don't there's not much I can do, and that's just how it is.
yeah.
And I hate sleep because of it, because it's like a timer. Oh, I sit in bed for God knows how long and can't do anything. Like last night I went to bed at 6, and I wish I had instead gotten out of bed and played Baldur's Gate until 6, because at least I would have done something.
hmm I kind of also feel that way whenever I wake up because most of the times I feel like I just wake up and sit in my bed for way too long
23.
before actually getting stuff done.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, and so I just hate sleep. Although recently I have been looking forward to sleep because I've been playing Pokemon Sleep. So I'll be like, oh, I need to go to sleep because I want to get 100 on my score, and I'd have to wake up at this time. Um,
Pokemon is really, like I'm Pokemon is really taking all the steps to make everyone who plays Pokemon better, fit, healthier, and all that. Like first you got Pokemon Go to make people walk, and now you got Pokemon Sleep to make sure they go to bed on time.
yeah, what's next? Pokemon Bank.
I, yeah, Pokemon Finance
Pokemon Bank's a real thing, but it's for Pokemon. You store Pokemon. Yeah, no, but
or
I've
or 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 Pokemon Business where you have to log in your work hours.
that would be funny. Yeah, but I feel like I recognize like the other day that I'm like, oh my god, I feel terrible that I feel so pathetic that I'm sitting here and I hate sleep, but now I'm looking forward to sleep just because I have a fucking app on my phone that says you should sleep and you get to play a game.
Pokemon is all you needed.
Yeah, well, they do it like it's
I don't
more
want to go to
interesting than
sleep.
most
I want to
mobile
game.
games.
Wait, I can game while I'm
Yeah,
sleeping?
but like it's so I don't know, it makes I don't know. It just it's such a weird feeling that I just don't understand. I'm like, Why can't I just sleep normally instead of and the motivation doesn't even work fully, like, because in the end an app will not make me actually sleep, because that's if that was the case I would have just slept by now.
Yeah.
But it's making me care more about my sleep, which is insane. And I guess that's their goal. But that's the end of that for me.
Yeah. I've been getting morning pills.
Mhm.
Like I used to always go to sleep late and I just hated mornings so much.
On a less
But
relatable
lately
topic. Never mind. You can go ahead. My bad. I cut you off.
I've had to get up early a couple times. And when I finished having to, I kind of just naturally kept up and I've been waking
Mhm.
up at 9 a.m. and I was like, this is amazing. Cause like I don't have just like an underlying feeling of tired the whole day. Like I'm tired in the morning, but then I just feel like a normal person throughout the day until I get tired when I want to go to sleep. It's so insane. Like it's crazy how much the time you go to sleep can affect your tiredness, at least for me. Like I'm getting the exact same amount of sleep I was before, but just because I'm waking up earlier, I just feel so much better every day.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's just the lack of feeling super tired every day. It's crazy. I think I'd like to keep this up.
That is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to sleep at consistent times and be only awake for like 16 hours.
Yeah. Once I
But yeah.
slept for 16 hours straight.
I normally wake up at 9, like 9:30,
Mhm.
and I feel terrible every day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been waking up at 9 a.m. every day and
Well,
I
it's
feel
because the
great.
time he goes to sleep is different from you.
Oh, wait, when do you go to sleep?
I have a consistent sleep around 3 a.m.
Yeah, well, that'll do it.
Yeah, yeah, I know partially why, but like I'm still saying, like even though I consistently wake up around this time, I still feel terrible.
Yeah. Do either of you want
I'm sorry to
sleeping
hear that.
tips?
You have tips?
Yeah,
From
hold
I,
on.
I,
sleep.
I mean, I've known a couple tips, like try not to look at your screen or any
Yeah.
screen like right before going to bed.
It's like 30 minutes before, I believe.
And I also know waking up tips. Right after you wake up, try to get some sunlight in your eyes. And
Mhm.
like just look outside for a bit.
Yeah, I
And
stare at the sun.
I don't know, I actually feel it. Like when I'm looking outside, I feel like my eyes kind of just like waking up a bit because you're supposed to get sunlight because it's different from just lamplight. I also heard like try drinking a warm glass of milk before going to bed, but that never really
That's
worked
like
for
an
me.
urban myth.
It'll keep the evil milkman away.
Sleep tip number 7. When should I go to bed? Ideally, we should go to bed at an hour when we can fall asleep easily, rather than going out of our way to match somebody else's schedule.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I normally feel tired around like 3 a.m., so that's why I go to sleep
Mhm.
then.
Exactly. Sleep tip number 8. Morning people and night people. Sorry. People are born as early risers or night owls. It's said to be extremely hard for night people to deliberately become morning people.
I'm living proof that that is wrong.
Are you sure?
I don't think
Yeah.
you're that much of a night person.
I used to go to bed at like 2 to 3 a.m.
That's like the early for us.
I I guess.
Like, you were one of the most normal people sleep-wise in our
I
friend group.
tried going to
Do you
sleep
not call
early.
me a normal?
When it
Look.
comes to sleeping, oh sorry, I hate having a healthy sleep
Okay,
schedule.
okay.
Yesterday, I tried going to sleep early. I woke up 3 hours later at 11:30, felt terrible, and then couldn't go to sleep until 3.
Yeah. That's like way too early. Yeah. 11:30 is probably when you would want to try to sleep. The changing of seasons seems to be a factor in how long we sleep. It said that we sleep less when days are longer and more when days are short.
With my work schedule, hell no.
That's true.
Additionally, like I mean, I used to have like a semi-consistent sleeping schedule at like midnight back in like high school,
Mm-hmm.
but like more or less without how like work has gone. I'm the type of guy who doesn't want to go home and then just do nothing and go to sleep immediately.
Mm.
I like to be proactive with my free time, so I cut out the hours of sleep so I can get stuff done that I'd like to do.
There's
Gotcha.
a saying about that, but I closed the app so I don't have my sleep tips up anymore.
I would like to hear this tip. Could you please bring it back?
Well, basically, it's saying, hold on. Give me half a minute, maybe even
These
more
are
than
all
half a minute.
these are all from Pokemon Sleep, right?
Well, no, I'm making the yeah. Is it what to do when short on sleep? When we're short on sleep, getting enough sleep should be our top priority. It's recommended to save work and studies for later and focus on getting deep sleep. As in hobbies, fuck 'em.
Yeah, I think I would go insane without my hobbies.
Well, it's like you save your hobbies and like 12 a.m.'s like a cutoff for hobbies.
I just remembered how bad those sour cream and onion chips tasted.
You're not gonna like that. That's like, is that what? Hold on, let me Google something.
If you don't have enough sleep, get more.
That's basically what they say. Most of the chips, the tips are not very helpful.
Can you shiny hunt in Pokemon Sleep?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think. Can you?
There's shinies in it.
Fuck.
No
How do you
shot.
shiny hunt?
I don't
I don't think you can shiny hunt.
I don't know,
'Cause
You
but
can sleep in areas they appear more.
You can only have.
I have seen shiny Snorlaxes in the game,
Oh no, that's different. You can't.
but I don't know about like actual regular shiny.
Yeah,
I,
you
I
you change your area you're in every week, and so that's when what's it called? What? Yeah, you change your area every week, and so that's when you find a new Snorlax. So that's how you would get that.
but there's probably actual shinies in the game though.
Maybe.
Maybe it's for those really deep sleepers, those who have like a week at a time.
No, because you only get like I believe 8.5 hours worth of sleep time in a single day. And that would count it as a single sleep session, so I don't think that would work.
Damn.
Up here we go. Yeah, no, sour cream and onion is one of the most popular chip flavors.
Dear God, people have lost their humanity.
I'll make sure to buy some tomorrow. I think that's a good place to end it. Do either of you have any words that you would like to leave the audience with?
If you had a lever that controlled a trolley track, and on that track was a bunch of people tied to it, period, and the lever did nothing, what would you do?
What about you, Jacob?
Uh, if there was a second trolley track, but there was no one on it, but there's a lever to move a train onto it, what would you do?
If there was a train and there was a lever to put a track on top of it, would you pull it?
Sleep tip
If
number
there was a train and there was a lever to put another train on that train, but in turn you would switch a railway path somewhere on the other side of the world, would you pull it?
sleep tip number 17. Don't forget to
Preheat the
preheat
oven.
the oven.